You might have already seen videos on this sensational case pass by on TikTok. Due to the interest in her case, this girl is well known all over the internet. But what about her actual history, and why did she did the awful things I'm about to tell you about? In this video, I'll explain everything about the terrifying story of Isabella Guzman. A quick reminder to you all, before I actually start my story, if you're really interested in these types of stories, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to never miss a new video. Also, make sure to keep watching until the end of the video to not miss any important information on this case. Now let's continue this compelling story on how an insane teenager made detectives snap. History. The beginning of today's story takes place in a tiny town called Aurora, Colorado. Colorado, known for its beautiful nature, tends to draw a lot of outdoor enthusiasts and young families, like the Guzman family. Isabella Guzman was born on June 9, 1995, to Robert Guzman and Yunmi Hoy. She grew up with both of her parents, despite her parents' divorce when she was 7 years old. They kept spending lots of time together and even shared a photography studio, which they continued to work at even after their separation. Isabella's mother did continue with her love life, and so she remarried Ryan Hoy. This never seemed to settle well for Isabella, which is why she kept telling her mom that her new husband was doing a bad job replacing her actual father. Yunmi had to explain to her that Ryan was not a replacement for her real father, just her new partner. However, when after the horrific incident, investigators looked into Isabella's childhood, this painted a pretty dark picture. She seemed to have never really laughed, had fun, or visited her friends. Everyone who knew Isabella at the time, whether they were young or older, could see that she was unhappy. Isabella's mother, Yunmi, was working 12-hour shifts to make enough money for her daughter. But despite all the effort she put in, Isabella had always hated her mother. Isabella had been moved between her parents' places several times by the time she became a teenager. This was an extra reason why she started making clear that she didn't want or need her parents anymore. Just a few weeks before her final exams, Isabella left school when she was only 18 years old. This led to an argument with her parents. Isabella was definitely not interested in hearing any complaints about her, which is why when she shut down after having used some nasty words at them, her parents had thought the argument was over after all. But Isabella, still angry from another discussion with the parents she seemed to hate, would do the unthinkable a few weeks later. Isabella Guzman targeting her mother. In the late hours of August 28th, Isabella waited for her mother to go to the bathroom to take a shower. She ambushed her with a big kitchen knife right there. Her mother's new husband Ryan hurried upstairs when he heard his wife's screams. But Isabella had shut and locked the door. Ryan observed his wife's blood literally pouring through the bathroom door and into the hallway. Then, his stepdaughter unlocked the door and came out with a knife in her hand, staring right into Ryan's eyes. She climbed down the stairs, opened the front door, and vanished into the darkness. The police arrived at the family's house within minutes, but it was already too late. Yunmi's head and neck had been targeted a shivering 79 times. The police discovered a baseball bat in the bathroom as well, and they came to the conclusion that Isabella had beaten her mother with it either before or after the final incident. Unfortunately for the police, Isabella had already left long ago with her knife by the time everyone arrived at the house. After arrest. A while later, the police were contacted by a witness who claimed to have recognized Isabella from the news. She was immediately taken into custody because she had her mother's blood all over her clothing. The police now needed to figure out Isabella's past and what caused her to choose the darkest path a daughter could take. As the detectives spoke to Isabella's stepdad Ryan about the months leading up to the murder, they uncovered a story even darker than that of Isabella's constant misbehavior. After she dropped out of school, Isabella's fights with her mom escalated to an unprecedented level. Isabella was said to have spitted on her mother's face and yelled at her on August 27th. Later on, Isabella had sent her mother an email saying, "You will pay." In fact, Yunmi had already called the police that afternoon, but when the police officers got there, they only spoke with Isabella's parents and inquired as to whether the parents wanted Isabella to be arrested overnight. Yun-mi, however, stood up for her daughter and asked the police to temporarily close the case. Out of all people, it was her who got targeted with a knife a chilling 79 times by her own daughter, less than 24 hours later. As more experts analyzed Isabella's past behavior, the running theory was that Isabella had always been suffering from untreated schizophrenia. Even at a young age when children are normally dependent on their family members, she preferred to be alone instead of interacting with them. Isabella later claimed that she was mistreated by her parents throughout her childhood and that their obsession with religion was one of the main reasons for their frequent fights. 2021 interview. An interesting note in the case could be that in recent interviews, Isabella has talked about a really unsettling topic. She mentions that she was assaulted by a staff member at the mental health hospital in 2015. At the time, Isabella even reported this issue to the police, but somehow the case didn't progress, even after an assault had happened 2 more times. Knowing this, it seems a bit more logical that in June 2021, Isabella has received authorization to leave the hospital for rehabilitation sessions. While it's unclear when or if she will ever be released for good, she seems to be working hard at getting better, and she regrets doing the things she did to her mom, despite their lifelong conflict. In conclusion, the inquiry also revealed that the suspect's difficult background, as well as her mental health concerns, were major contributors to her spiral towards violence. This makes Isabella's actions somewhat understandable to some degree. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for getting to the end of the video. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.